Hello. How are you doing? I hope you are all feeling awesome. In this tutorial, which is the part 2 of our basketball game, we're going to complete the basketball game by adding a hoop and counting the scores. Stick around. Welcome to Kidicode Ninja tutorial. This is Ellie and this is your place to learn to code and have fun. So I'm clicking on this folder so that I can go to my stuff and then I can find my previous project, which was this one. So I click see inside. So far we have a player, AI, the basketball game, and if I press start and then I press the space bar, I can throw a ball and then the AI is throwing it back to me, and by up and down as well as right and left I can move the cat. But we are missing the main part of the basketball game, which is we need to be able to throw the ball into the hoop and we need to be able to count the score. So that's what we are gonna do today. So I need a hoop. On my backdrop I already see a hoop, but I'm not gonna use this because it's static, so it's not much fun. Instead I'm gonna create a new sprite. Actually I'm going to draw it by myself, so I go to the paint and then let's take this one, and then I want the fill to be white and the outline to be black. So I'm drawing this hoop and then I will target to shoot the ball inside this hoop, and it should be a bit smaller, still a little bit more, something about this size so that it won't be super challenging. I can also, to make it more like an actual hoop, I can, and one white line is left, I'm gonna delete it. Okay, I want the black fill. A little better. Anyway, it's just a demo. You can take your time and draw properly. One thing that is important is, let's first make this no fill so that it's transparent by clicking here. And also, how do I want to target inside this basket? To make that possible, so I'm gonna take one specific color that I don't have it in this backdrop. So let's say I don't have any green here or yellow here, so I'm gonna take a color from here, and then I'm just putting a small, let's take a circle. I'm putting a small circle with this green color right here in the middle. Just, it can be as tiny as you want. Okay, here we go, and the outline, no outline. So if I zoom, you see I put this little circle, little green thing, so that I choose it for my target. And then let's press Ctrl A and group them all together, and I can play with the size a little. All right, so I have this basket. Now I'm temporarily removing the stage backdrop so that you can see easier, but it can actually stay. So I'm just changing it for now to a plain backdrop so that it's just easier for the demo, but you can later switch. All right, so the code for the hoop. Oh, one more thing, I also need a variable named score so that I can count the scores that I'm gaining. Okay, I have the score as well. Now let's write a code for this hoop so that it glides around the screen in this area, and then so that the cat can follow it. So what I'm gonna write is when start clicked, I want some constant movement of the basket, the hoop. So I would say forever glide in few seconds, 5 seconds, let's say. I meant to take this one, glide 5 seconds to some random x, some random y. So I'm going to operator and pick a random x, pick a random y, but I want to make sure that the y is nothing below this line because it's a hoop, right? So it shouldn't be too low. So let's say from 20 to 200, and for the x it can be anywhere along this line. So let's say minus 20 to 200. Let's see what happens. So yeah, you see the hoop is just moving around randomly, and now I should try jumping and throwing the ball. And of course, every time that I can hit the basket, I'm supposed to gain score. Okay, now let's write the code for gaining the score. Currently it shows a score 14. That's not what we want. We want the initial, at the start of the game, we want the score to be 0. So what I can do is I can first say when start clicked set score to 0. So that's how we start the game at this point. Here we had a code for throwing the ball by pressing the space. The ball is reaching the player, and then it's diagonally going up, rotates, and moves up. So what I want is whenever I'm throwing the ball, if this ball touched this green dot, then I can gain a score. So let's reset the score to 0. So how can I say when I'm touching that green dot, I gain score? What I can do is here, I repeat, so the ball goes up, and then I just want to detect this dot. So I would say if on the sensing touching color, so I click here and then I click on the color picker and put it here. If touching the color green, now change the score by 1. But then since we are in a loop, I don't want the score to keep going up until it's hitting the ground. So I'm gonna put a weight here so that the score goes only one up at each time that I'm hitting the green dot inside the basket, or basically when I'm throwing the ball in the basket. So let's just take a weight, control and wait, let's say 6 seconds. So here we go. Now I can throw the ball, and if I manage to hit the green dot, I can gain a score. But currently you see the ball is coming very slowly towards me. So what I'm gonna do is going to AI, in the AI is waiting 1 second to throwing the ball. I can remove this 1 second. Also on the ball, here it takes 3 seconds for the AI to glide the ball to the player. I'm gonna change this to 1 second as well so that it's faster. Now it's much smoother. So it's a little too fast now, so let's put the weight here back again. So here is the game. Oops, I got one score, yay. Okay, so this is how we count and how we play. If I want it to be easier, I can change this to a higher number so that it glides slower. The hoop is not moving super fast, so it's easier for me to play. But here is basically the style. And anytime that I press start, I'm losing all my scores. So make sure not to replay the start until you are finished. So yeah, here it is. And now we can put back the backdrop, the basketball. I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell so that you don't miss the next tutorial, and see you soon next week. Bye.